These are my top 5 watches to buy.
What? Welcome, friends. Today we are doing another fragrance live stream. Tremendous. That's right, friends. I'm back once again with another live. So I hope you are okay. I am okay. I've been resting again today. Slept a lot. Chilled out. Didn't do anything too strenuous. And it's about this time of day that I get bored as all fuck and I start pining for the interaction on YouTube. And what better place to have interaction on YouTube than on YouTube? Tripler, welcome. How are you? Fragrance Profile. A good name for a fragrance channel. Especially if you're into fragrances. Fragrance Profile. How are you doing? How is everyone doing? I hope you're all well and your Wednesday has been fantastic. Pulpa Femo, welcome to you. Drop out? Indeed, 3 in a row. You would have thought, being ill, that I wouldn't have... but I feel fine. I feel it's really strange. I don't want to get too into it because it's gross, but I have been doing a lot of coughing today. And I feel better for having done said coughing. I've cleared my airways. That's what it feels like. Is that Patu cheaper today? Actually, with inflation, it's only going to go up, mate. I don't know where this mad idea that prices are coming down for the old Patus come from. You need to get some air. Welcome, Panda. Streams make you better. It could be. It could be the case. It could be the case. Got a little Cologne Officinale whipping through the base. Otherwise, I'm doing really well. Well, I love Cologne Officinale. It's fantastic. I am. Tomorrow afternoon, I am going to rank. I'm going to rank my top 10s. I'm going to rank my top 10. My top 10 pickups of 2023. So, I hope you will enjoy them. So that video may come out on Friday. It may come out at the weekend, but I think it'll be Friday probably. I doubt it'll be tomorrow. Because I've got a course in the morning. Signed up to a course. It's nothing strenuous. I'm doing it from home. I'm literally going to do it from my bed. But I can't just go on doing fucking nothing, otherwise my mind's going to fall apart, and frankly, it's all I've got left, like, you know what I mean? I can't be doing without my brain. I mean, what's left of it as it is. But, yes, I got a lot of mail today. So, how are all of we? Are we okay? Sorry, I'm just messaging someone. Oh. Oh. What a long day. A strange day, though. What did you wear today, my friend? Did you wear perfume? I imagine you did. I wore, for the first time in a long time and enjoyed it greatly, an easygoing incense. Very incensey, but an easygoing incense. And this is Incense Avignon, which was given to me by Spy and Mash, who was a mate. Thank you, Spy and Mash. Oh, Tripler has received his lavenders, which I'm interested to hear about. Oh, okay. Back to the chat, which I have not looked at. I have been using sinus irrigation machine, Navage. Actually works pretty well to keep the sinuses clear. Oh, that sounds uncomfortable, but I'm glad it's working for you. Scent of the day is Trussardi Uomo. The honey is blasting indiscriminately, says Tripler. Hello, Enrique. Another live stream. Happy days. Welcome, Zhao. It's nice to see you. Scent of the day is Amouage Royal Tobacco. I haven't smelled that one. I think there was a little bit of hype about it, wasn't there? Welcome, Panda. Panda is wearing Oud Palau. Will there be any honourable mention pickups? Possibly. So I bought, according to my list, I went through all my pick-me unboxing videos, and I wrote down about 36, which means I've probably missed, I want to say, another 5 or 10. So I probably bought just under 50 perfumes last year, new perfumes for the collection. I've sold well over 100. I should have kept a record of how many perfumes I've sold, but I haven't. But I've sold well over 100, and I intend to sell more. I've already bought 2 this year, but that was thanks to an opportunity that was unmissable. So I got a couple of things which will appear on the channel at some stage soon, hopefully. So that will be fun as soon as shipping can be sorted. And then Anuj, it keeps coming into my mind this. Anuj is getting his much vaunted haul. So hopefully I'll be buying something off that. You never know. It might just not be, there might be nothing there for me. But he seemed pretty fucking excited, which makes me excited. So that's cool. And when it comes in, I will be sure to tell everybody, and everybody should rush. If he's got something you want, because it will go. Again, not sponsored. This is just someone I have bought from before. First iteration of Yo Palm, says Dushan. You're wearing that again. Did you ever pick a scent when you go to the hospital? Do you ever pick a scent for when you go to the hospital, by the way? Well, I went to the hospital yesterday, and what did I wear yesterday? I wore Follow by Kerosene. I wore Follow by Kerosene, which wasn't very hospital-y, and it was interesting because the doctor asked us what I drink. And I was like, oh, I drink water and I drink tea. And I was like, to be honest, that's all I drink. I don't really drink anything else. And he must have looked at us and sniffed us, stinking of coffee, thinking, this kid's full of shit. Do you know what I mean? He must have just thought, this guy's, I mean, he stinks of coffee. What's he fucking trying to say? If he doesn't drink coffee, it's probably because he pours it all over himself, is what he was thinking. Enrique's wearing Beau de Jour. I received my lavender oils today. Seville oil is remarkable, interesting. Frederick's profile is wearing Black Orchid. Drawn by Sense is wearing Chapard. Paul Holm. Dropout is wearing Chanel Sycamore. My scent today was Royal Delight from Creed, a vintage bottle, says Saduddin. That's interesting. Royal Delight. 1987 on taste, says Rabbit. I really enjoy the new Aventus, the new Antace. Certainly don't enjoy the new Aventus. I enjoy the new Antace though. It's a really good one. The bottle I've got from 2017, which isn't that new actually now. I really like that. Avignon is pure incense, says Dushan. Welcome MJ, who's wearing raw gold first edition. Avignon is a nice place. That's where they moved the papacy. For a little while, isn't it? They moved it out of Rome and into Avignon. Evening, Andrej. We need first right of refusal. What on Anuja's haul? I'm sure when it comes up. I mean, if he wants to talk about it, or if he doesn't, we can have him on. I try to get Duo Rose to come on tonight. Try to get somebody to come on and share the load, as it were. But I couldn't get through to him. Like, he's probably cooking. Fliss is busy. She has some house maintenance going on, and she's got kids, so trying to keep the kids busy while the house is getting redecorated. Must be. I wouldn't dare to think how tough that is. Good grief. Kids are busy. Like an entire human, totally dependent on you. Rough. Nice to hear you, Serb. You are wearing Fracas Pour Homme. Papa Famo says, today I wore sartorial and I still smell it on my hair. Oh, you spray it on your hair. I saw some on eBay. I saw some Quercus shampoo. 2 bottles of Quercus shampoo for £10. And I thought, that's interesting. I wonder if anybody would pick them up. If I had like my skin's like I'm funny with my skin. I don't like putting any sort of scented oil on. It makes it itchy, which is ironic considering how much perfume I wear. But if it's like scented soap or if it's like scented cream or anything, I'm like I just stay away from it. So I would wear certain. I would wear certain, like if it was Miradont or something. And taste is so enticing. How versatile would you say the modern formulation is? I tried it a while back and can't recall. Autumn and winter, easy. Spring, yes. Summer, no. It's very big and dark for summer. You'll struggle with that for summer. Absolutely you will. Absolutely. Anyone familiar with Prada Cargo de Nuit? I got a 4ml sample for $10 and I hope I don't love it as I don't look forward to hunting a bottle. I have never heard of Cargo de Nuit. Tour de Hermes is a perfume I react badly to. Isoe acids to my skin. Oh. Has Anuj hinted at the size of his haul? Hundreds or thousands of bottles? Nothing. He hasn't given anything away, which is kind of exciting. I'm sure whatever it'll be great. There'll be something there for everybody. So, but the way that, I mean, maybe it's a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I cannot, I could not promise to you that I wouldn't buy everything, but this time I definitely won't be buying up. That whatever there is, they'll be there for, like, as far as I'm concerned anyway, there'll be stuff there for others. Like, I'm not going to be, like, going in and taking, like, the entire Balenciaga pour. Even if there is 5 bottles of Balenciaga pour home, depending on what size they are. If they're 50 mils, I probably won't buy one. If there's a 100 ml bottle there, I'll probably take one of those. Because most of my bottles are 50 mils. Oh, I should wear that. I need to wear that and Bois d'Argent. Quid of Russie I haven't worn this year. I think I'm going to spend the last 6 weeks trying to wear more stuff that I haven't worn this year. I've worn all the stuff I loved. I've really enjoyed wearing ambers and all that kind of thing, but I want to wear more stuff that I haven't worn already this year. So I'm going to spread my wings a little bit. Maybe a couple of the Towers, Giorgio Beverly Hills, Tom Ford's. A couple of the Muglers I've got left. Calvin. Feminité Dubois. All the good stuff. Today I wore Al Oud by Lottes and quite cuminy and dry. I wasn't a fan. When I smelled it. I thought it was a bit... I don't know, it wasn't for me. Lottes I make bath products as well, yes. Also, apologies, can't read chat in the minute, says that's okay. Quid of Russie EDP was disappointing last week, selling it, says Tripler. I'm not a big fan of the EDP, I must admit. Very soft, very weak, very poor, I thought. I thought it was really poor. I just thought it lacked incision. It didn't cut through at all. Welcome, James. Somebody asked me today if you were... Yours is Fragrance Jeremy, your Instagram account that sent us a link, and they were like, is this Jeremy Fragrance? I was like, no. I'm pretty sure that's Germs. Welcome, Jonathan. How are you? I am buzzing that you are fantastic and doing really well. Oh, dreamy. Yes. Creamy. Good day, Duck and friends. Divine, welcome. You are wearing Royal Crown's Itzma. It's a difficult word to say. Shocking. Welcome, Frank. Blind Demand is wearing Louis Vuitton Myriad. Yeah, I broke down. I got a 2ml and now I smell like a bad bitch. 700 for it though. Yikes. Yes, no animalics, mostly jasmine. Would hardly call it a leather. Yeah, it's a very... It's a very... It's a very pale imitation of what it once was. I've got my bottle over here, of which I will show you now. Pull the lid off. It's going to fall, I knew it. There's the lid. This one's a little bit powdery, a little bit rosy. Very dense. Much richer. Welcome, Duncan. Young Duncan. Jonathan's wearing Rourke. Jonathan, are those Rourke bottles sprays or splashes? I'm sure I've asked you this before, but I can't remember. Are those Roberto Greco sprays or splashes? I can never see the stalk inside. Frank says, scent of the day is Vetiver Tonka. Nice. Is there a Roquefort note in there, John, says Tripler. Cheesy. Welcome, Fleet Street. Must grab a jar for you today. Which MFK oud is that at the front? Picture is not clear, sorry. This one. Oud Satin Mood. Oh, bit of glare there for you. Oud Satin Mood. I'll see if I can get the lighting a bit better. I'm not sure I can. I really need to sort out me visuals. So I might try and put a bit more kind of, do I want to say effort? I put effort into my channel. But maybe do a little bit more this year. Welcome, Boz. Jonathan's really enjoying Rourke. The bitches love Oud Satin Mood, says Duncan. Dropout says, yeah, I thought it was a false decant. Disappoints as well as I expected more. I don't slag off the MFK ouds like many. I own the original oud extra and really enjoyed it. I like the oud. I like the original oud. I think it's quite good. In my opinion, it's got absolutely no oud in it. It's just called that to... It might have materials resembling some oud. Oh, I might wear that tomorrow. LV ouds intrigue me. I know Alan Hansen was very keen on... Alan Hansen was very keen on one of them, of which I cannot for the life of us remember the name of now. There's a Poe, something oud by Louis Vuitton, and it was a bloody expensive little bastard as well. Carl Anderson, welcome. How are you? Carl, did you ever get in touch with my friend from Japan? Eugene, welcome. Yeah, buddy. Jura Rose decides to text me now and say that he just got home. Just called him a meth. He's a bad meth for missing the stream. Boris is wearing costume national homme parfum. I decided to get the Sultan Pasha sample set due to Dev's influence, says Boz. Dev's an influencer now. I have Satin Mood Extra. It's too much. Got to be in the mood. Half a spray lasts all day in the winter. Yeah. I think that one's the extra. No, it's not. No, it is the extra. Satin Mood Extra. It is extremely potent. I should wear this. It just sits there and seeds. It's very nice. You know? It's very nice. I do like it. I must say. I do like it, but fucking potent as all fuck. I need to wear Sycamore EDT. I am in touch with the man from Japan. He just needs a little more time. Looking for what I am after. Sound. I know he's in France, or he's been in France. I got all of the stuff that I wanted from him. Which arrived. He sends it in lots of different packages, which is a pain. But not to worry. I have extra too. I love it. Might wear Satin Mood today. It's been a long time, says Eugene. It has been a long time. Boz has been working out. Good grief. You've been working out, have you, Boz? Are you trying to lift? Are you building a bit of muscle? I also heard the MFK hair mist are strong enough to wear as an ADT. Baccarat Rouge 540 hair mist particularly, says Duncan. That's scary. I haven't got any hair. I haven't touched my last 25 or so mil of Sycamore EDT in years. I just wear the EDP, says Frank. Sycamore is fire pushing 8 hours easy. I should wear it more. Oh, that's Coromandel. Oh. That's an earthy boy. Because of the pick, I bought patchouli kosher today, says Boris. Sorry, Boris. Yes, it is. It's a patchouli. It's a creamy patchouli. It's quite nice. It's just they want silly prices for most of their perfumes, and it's like, what are you doing? But there is my Coromandel. I might wear that. The mole hair mists are really good, says Eugene, who has hair. I don't have any hair. Oh, we had some muscles from previous workouts, says Buzz. Do you have masculine pluriel? Is it a good fougere? Says Enrique. Well, I don't, but Eugene might. So we will have to see. Excuse me. I don't know how to get the lighting better. I enjoy masculine pluriel quite well, says Eugene. I don't have hair, but I have hair mists, says Frank. Interesting. Any experience with Chanel Boy, says FI. Yes. A little bit of experience. I don't own it. It's very nice. The lavender's really nice. It's a good fougere fragrance, classical fougere. Performance is a bit shit on me though, unfortunately. But it's a nice fragrance. It is a very nice fragrance. And you've got to watch out for those Chanel price increases too. So if you're going to get it as soon as you can. And I don't say that, I mean, if you like it, get it as soon as you can. Because they put their prices up 10% every year and it's getting out of hand, like, you know. So, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Masculine Pluriel is nice, but one of the first fragrances I've sold loads of perfumes. I've got a couple of Serge Lutens I want to sell in the Graziel bottles. I've got Fumery Turk and Queer Moresque. I want to sell both of those. So if you're in the UK and you want to buy either of those, I'm selling them. Because I've got them in the vintage bottle. You know. Love Chanel Boy, probably my favourite fougere, but yes, the performance is not great, says Zhao. I found it really poor. I found a really good deal on one. And it was a 2017 or 2018, but it was one of the first ones. I think it came out in 2016, and this was like a 2017 bottle. And apparently the first ones are really good. But the latest stuff that was in the shop when I tried it was really, really quite bad for performance anyway. My hair is getting thinner, says Buzz. I know the feeling. Mine started going when I was 19. Masculine Pluriel is nice. I went to the haircut yesterday and finished the dresser. He showed me the back of my head. I cringe, says Buzz. Masculine Pluriel is heavily reformulated as of last year. When I tried it before that, I liked it lighter than I thought it would be in a good way, says Cole. Don't sell Serge. How dare you betray Uncle Serge? It's the Graziels, so that is... I can deal with selling the Graziels. The other ones I struggle to sell. Welcome, Shelby. You are wearing Russian tea. I still haven't found my bottle of Russian tea. I've got no idea where I've put it. It's out there, friends. It's out there. The truth. And Russian tea is out there. I just can't find it. I don't know where it is. I need a bottle of that. Third on the wish list going into 2024. Russian tea. Sadudin says, Coromandel is great, no question. I'd like to hear your opinion about Richwood. I'm going to get some Xerjoff samples. That's something I'm probably going to do this year. Get some Xerjoff samples. I'll be honest. If I think they're good, I'll say they're good. If I think they're not, I'll say they're not. So we will see. We will see. Friends, it is that time of the stream where I ask you to like the stream. If you like liking streams, please like the stream. I appreciate it greatly. Anyway, nice X-Files reference. Russian tea would be so good without the raspberry. I like the raspberry, actually. I do like the mint, the dark minty kind of thing. The juxtaposition between birch tea, raspberry, and mint is very clever. I think your opinions on Xerjoff will heavily depend on what product you land on. I can see you hating anything built with their synthetic fruity DNA, but their other scents can be hard hitters, says Divine. Send me on Parfumo. Send me a list of things you think that I should try. Oh boy, first impressions on Xerjoff samples. It has to be everything. Has everything to be epic. Zhao loves his Xerjoff. Yes. It'll be a tense one, that. I remember trying Symphonium and it was fucking awful. It was absolutely diabolical. People are like, can you not just smell the perfume, like, and take it out of, like, take the price out of the thing? It's like, no. Like, you can do that if you don't pay for it, right? But you can't do that if you pay for these things, or if you have to take the price into account. It's part of the review. If you are charging a large amount of money for a bad perfume, that affects the fucking review. It does. It just does. I can't just be like, forget about the price. You just like fucking forget the price. It's you can pay another time. You can get a credit card. You can do this. You can do that. No, don't. You have to put into context the perfume. Yeah, the price. I beg your pardon, not the perfume. You have to put the perfume into context as well. Xerjoff Pour Homme is the worst fragrance. Bad example of a Pour Homme, says Dalton. I'm not sure if it's my imagination, but an older bottle of Russian tea that I have smells fruitier. Probably it's not, but I want to compare one day. Could be. It's been out a while. Could have been reformulated. Herb says you don't like iris. I do like iris. I like iris fragrances. Me and Jura Rose were talking about iris yesterday. Talking about the nature of... What's this on my pants? I'm going to say what I think that looks like. Get off. Get off me. Horrible mark. The mark of the beast. Some kind of fucking evil has attached itself to me. Get off. Vasa did a video with Sebastian. Yes. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did do a video with Sebastian. Xerjoff Home is great if you can try it. I haven't heard that. Oh, Xerjoff has a fragrance called Iris. I see. Why is Xerjoff so popular in Australia? It's hard to tell from here. I live in England, mate. Oh, I'm already sending him a DM on Parfumo, says Divine. Only Dior, Chanel, and Hermes and Serge here, says Spaced Out. Xerjoff have very interesting fragrances, which was released before 2010, not afterwards, says Saruddin. The origin story I heard about Xerjoff was that the owner of Xerjoff turned up to the perfumer's office or house or whatever and smelled what he had on his shelf ready to go. And the owner was like, right, brilliant, I love those, I'll take all of them. And the stuff that he actually had, the perfumer had sitting about, was his own version of some of the most popular fragrances of the day, such as Pure Havana, which turned into Naxos. And there was another one. Was it a Tuscan leather? It was something. Oh, God, Rienne's outrageous, isn't it? It's such a scandalous perfume, you. Mental behaviour. Here was me assuming it was Sebastian Furtado. Love Sebastian Furtado, he's class. I guess you will heavily dislike most of them, and maybe there will be one or other that you will oddly enjoy, says Zhao. That's a possibility. That would be a good hit rate. That would be a good hit rate. I try lots of perfumes. My first impressions, my channel is littered with first impressions videos. And most of them fall by the wayside. So it would be good if they did have one that I liked. I would be happy. You know, I would be happy if Xerjoff made a fragrance that I loved. But I just don't think they will. But we will see. I will not lie. I will not cut off my nose to spite my face. If there's one I like, I will say. Vasa just did a video with Sebastian. On 99% of the sellers on Parfumo are based in Germany. It seems like it. It's the biggest fragrance. I think the founder is German. I think that's where it's based. It does seem like there's a lot. There's Swiss on there. There's a lot of Austrians on there. Czech, Central Europe, more than Western Europe. But you know, I've never had any bad interactions on there. I crafted the DM. Enjoy, says Divine. I will. Brian is a big fan of Iris, says Divine. Yeah, and Sebastian's ears were red, says Dropout. You need to try the Fall of Phaeton by Argos. What is Eugene and Rich's favourite Thierry Vassa creation? Mine would probably be Encens Mythique. Have you tried the Merveilles line? Pradip did a video on L'Ombre. Yes, but I can't remember it. Nick says, have I sampled any Labo fragrances? Yes, and I thought most of them were crap. I'm curious about Lentisk by Phaidon. Anyone tried it? Yes, but I cannot remember what it was like. I got the sample set. It was a big sample set, big like square box, like a flat square box with like 20 odd samples in. I had to get Bloom to order it in from France, and I can't remember what Lentisk is, but I know I've tried it. Encens Mythique is probably Vassa's most notorious release, I think, says Herbs. It's incredibly hard in retail. We'll just mention the ones I'm enjoying at the moment. Ceylon, Naomi, Ivory Root, Alexandra Oriental, and More Than Words. I haven't got to Argos yet, no. Sorry. Sorry about the yawn as well. Salvador Dali, Zero Sweetness, yes. The Velvet Collection by Xerjoff is the most expensive real trashed collection, says Sadudin. I also made two other lists, a popularity one and a Dark Horses Hidden Gems one. Encens Mythique for me too. Dali Pour Homme is a grower, better everywhere and a difficult fragrance to dissect and describe. I gave my bottle to Richie G. Actually, I think he bought it. I took like 30 quid for it. I had an older style bottle, which I gave him. I have some stuff I must send to Stuart Mabe tomorrow, including his bottle of Cologne Concentré. Get on with it then. I will not get on with it. Next I'm doing Darren Allen, because I owe DJ some samples, so I'm going to send him some Darren Allen. I need to get I need to get me some. I need to get me some. Oh, fuck knows. I've lost my train of thought. I need to get something. I need to get a box, and I need to get some samples sent out to Stuart. And then I need to start on my Darren Allen sample set. And then I need to also do my top 10 pickups of 2023. August will turn duck into an instant fan, says Supply and Demand. I doubt it. I hear a lot of August's stuff is unoriginal. You're just being difficult, says Buzz. No. I have a running order, and we must follow the. We must follow the running order. So next it will be. Next it will be either the top 10 or it will either be the top 10 or it will be the Darren Allens, and then it will be the reverse of that. And then we'll see what comes after that. Oh, I'm going to send them. Zerjov has an original intellectual property. Argos's whole catalogue is basically unoriginal. I've heard the same, I must admit. I have heard that Argos is just meant to be like a fucking... It's just meant to be like... what's it called? Not clones, but like amalgamations of other fragrances. You know? Excuse me. How did that happen? Zerjov started dozens of dupe shit-tier dupe houses by themselves, including niche trash like Tiziana Terenzi. I've got to admit, I wasn't impressed with what I smelled from them. Why is my nose acting funny, cunt? Of all the August fragrances I've tried half a dozen, none reminded me of anything else, says Buzz. Exactly, box, says Supply and Demand. Zerjov is the compliment bro's next step after Jeremy Tier Designer, says Spaced Out. Bless you, thank you. Nazdrivli. Thank you, Dushan. I think I have tried 7 actually and own 3, says Buzz. None reminded me is a very different statement than none are. I go on Parfum and I say a Dinosaur Wing smells like Nishani Shrem. I call it a dupe. Well, I haven't smelled that, so it's hard to comment. Like, to this day, Pallas Athena is the most beautiful photogenic frag I've ever smelled. What does it smell like? Floral frag. Okay. I bet it doesn't, but I can't say how because I've never tried Shem. Molly is the step after Jeremy Tier Designer and Nisha, and Zerjov are the tier above that, says Divine. Oof, all sounds suitably terrible to me. Well, there we go. Have these people no ambition? Do they not wish to try? I don't know, Enrique, has he? Has he ever has Sebastian ever reviewed any Argos? I'm not sure. Top 3 Frederick Malls modern formulation, says FI. Welcome, FI. Pass. Difficult. I've got quite a few. I still really like Portrait of a Lady, even though it's weak compared to what it was. Just a massive fucking it's been rendered in ISO-E Super. I like music for a while. I like the night. I don't know. I'm not sure I can answer that. I've come to the conclusion that I tried altogether 9 Argoses, says Boz. Is Sultan Pasha doing the bigger bottles this year? Hopefully. Even if I liked Argos, I'd never buy a single bottle. And now ain't no way, says Divine. We're finally getting Sultan sprays, says Herbs. Yeah, he's been saying that for a while, hasn't he? He's going to do some big spray bottles. So that's something to look forward to, isn't it? You know? I would try some of those. I'd buy samples anyway. If I want masterpiece bottles, I'd buy Royal Crown or Nishane's Prestige line. Bottle design cannot be the deciding factor on purchases. That is bans. It is insane. You can't be making decisions about whether to buy stuff, whether the bottle's nice or not. It helps, but it's not. It's not. You can't base it on that. I think it's in the works. Herb says, Carl. No one is doing what Argos is doing with presentation and overall quality, says supply and demand. Ever tried any Amber Wash? Thoughts? Yes, I love Jubilation 25, the original. Welcome, Pradeep. How are you? I love that. I love Dear Man. The rest of them aren't really for me. I've got one of the vintage Atars called Al Andalus, and it is fucking gorgeous. Dear me. Adonis Awakens, TOB, Triumph of Bacchus, and Pallas Athena Iona. I've tried Danae, Batio, Morph, one. Sorry, it's 7. I forgot them 2 of my own samples as bottles. The statement is an absolute joke, says Divine. I haven't smelled August, but I'll put money up there at Royal Crown and Clive Christian. Shit on August, and I don't rate Clive Christian, if I'm honest. I don't rate Clive Christian at all. That's fucking... They are overpriced and a bit crap, frankly. So I will make up my own mind about the Argos. I will make up my own mind about the Zerjoff. I will not take my opinion as valid. I'm fascinated by Slavic languages, and I know it sounds silly, but when I read a book that I really like, I think I want to learn the original language, says Paul the Funner. Quite close to the Slavic languages, aren't you, being in Italy? Close to Greece and the old former Yugoslavia and stuff like that. I love to wear Dear Man on hot days of summer, says Shelby. It's a lovely fragrance. It's lovely for that. A little bit creamy for me. A little bit creamy for me for the hottest days of summer, but spring, summertime, lovely fragrance. Do Argos have good perfumes? I know I can just Google, but we're going to find out at some point this year. Struggling to like Amouage Journeyman almost makes me wonder if the sample was incorrectly done, says Pika. I hope you are all fantastic and doing really well, says Proudy. I hope that as well. There is no comparison with hand-painted bottles versus mass-produced bottles in any form if you appreciate art, says Supply and Demand. I just wouldn't base a purchase on a bottle. I don't care how good the bottle is. I mean, I would buy a bottle, like, in and of itself that didn't have perfume in. Some of those old 1900s, early 1900s elite glass bottles are like genuine works of art. But I wouldn't buy a perfume because of the bottle. For me, they're two different things. supply and demand. Think about the statement no one is doing what Argos is doing with overall quality and how stupid that is. If Argos is worth €300, my Royal Crowns retail at 600. Has anyone smelled that Encre Indigo yet? It's meant to be really nice. Welcome, Urajda. My lungs are sounding much better. Thank you. I have got tonight and tomorrow morning, got 2 doses of my fat antibiotics left. 2 doses. Those 2 at the end there. And then I am free. Although I do have tomorrow and Friday for my steroids. So that's fun. They've helped hugely. I highly recommend them when you've got a chest infection. But thank you. My Clive Christian also retail at 400 to 600. The idea that Argos is doing something that no one is doing is absurd, says Divine. I'm inclined to agree with that, but I think Clive Christians are vastly overpriced. I'd be surprised if Argos is like doing things that no one's ever done before. I'd be surprised. I'd be happily surprised. But I would be surprised. Nonetheless, I would be surprised. Thank you, Jaraja. I'm wishing you good health as well. Hello, Wes. I hope you are well. Mr. Garlic. I am here smelling the Arcanum fragrance off Alan. Sexy as fuck. Wes, can you remind us what the name of that Louis Vuitton oud that Alan bought was? I was trying to think of the name before. Could you remind us, please? Totally forgot. Totally. Stupid, okay. Name calling isn't in my repertoire. It's just a conversation. Carry on. Not on the same place I purchase on a bottle. You know what? I shit all over Clive Christian. Overpriced, pretentious, and bad smell. Herbs is not very. It's short. It doesn't have a massive throw and no huge longevity. I just mentioned no one is doing that with presentation. L'eau d'hiver is very nice and soft floral from Frederick Malsis, Sarudin. I thought L'eau d'hiver was alright. I wouldn't buy it, but I thought it was alright. There are perfume bottle collectors? Yes, there are. Usually they don't care about the juice at all. Yes, absolutely. That is true, Shelby. That is spot on. It's evident that plenty of brands are indeed doing that with presentations. Says Divine. Le Labo's bottles feel cheap. The label seems like it can get ruined easily. Yeah, Le Labo's kind of like they've made a virtue of the fact that their presentation's crap. You know? It's like, oh, aren't we like independent? Aren't we edgy? And it's like, no, you're not. You're just, I'm not. It's a gimmick. It's how I feel about the Labo sort of thing. Like, the perfumes don't stand up to scrutiny for me. I just think they're a bit naff. I think they're an influencer. I think they're a modern brand. I think they'll die away quite hard. They're very trendy. That's the word I'm looking for. They're trendy. Because I gave you multiple examples. Opinion on modern noir piece. I've got the vintage Per Oud. Thank you, Wes. Per Oud. I thought it was Poe, but no, you're right. It is Per Oud. Purr like a cat. Yeah. A noir piece, the modern one, it's all right. I've got the vintage one. I'm selling it, which is very clovey for me. I get a lot of clove from that vintage noir piece. You're going to want to do yourself with some yogurt after these antibiotics. I've got some. Don't worry. I've got some. I'm so glad you can refill the old Serge Tom bottles now. So nice bottles. Yes, it's good you can refill them. Hopefully they'll give discounts for not having to buy the bloody bottle again. Same with, what's he called? Killian. Killian was doing that, wasn't he? Killian was doing that. You could buy the refills, which was a good idea, but there's nothing really there that I want to buy from Killian, if I'm honest. Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. Painted bottles are just one of the examples of presentation of August I gave. I'd give you more, but the convo is better mute. Your mind's already made up, so it's supply and demand. I'm not saying they're not doing good things. I'm saying the bottle design and all quality bottle market is not as big of a monopoly as you think it is. Christian Petrovich is really bold and adventurous perfumer, says Boz. The Labo has rusty wash basins in their boutiques that do. Kind of a little bit off-putting for me, that. You know what I mean? Like a dirty working men's club toilet, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what they're trying to invoke there, but it's not ideal. You know? Like, bleh. Bit gross. Has anyone warmed up to Heaven Can Wait? Prodigy, maybe? It wasn't my thing. It's too, nah. For one, just look at a full bottle Argos unboxing and see the layers of presentation, says Supply and Demand. All-time presentation for me is Eau Sauvage Classic Elegance, says PK. That's a good, could make a video out of that or a stream out of that. What's your favourite fragrance bottle? I really like the colour. You know the Balenciaga Pour Homme, that green turquoise pattern thing with the gold next to it, strangely. I don't know why, but I find it's badly done. It's badly done. The actual bottle that contains the perfume is really nice because it's got this kind of ceramic feel, but the cap, like the inbuilt spray, it's cheap. It's cheap plastic, and the gold rubs off. But I really like the colour scheme. The Dior Privés I actually really like as well. The 50ml Tom Ford Private Blend bottles are really nice. Feminité Dubois, maybe the nicest feeling bottle. The Chanel's, a lot of Chanel bottle. I mean, Antaeus is a really good bottle, but it looks like a lipstick. The Hermes, that Hermes presentation looks like a peg. I've got to say though, the vintage Serge Lutens presentation is probably my favourite bottle. It's just absolutely pitch perfect. There's just everything about it. I love it. Absolutely love it. I also quite like the original M7 presentation too. You know, I actually think that's really good, but this is probably my favourite overall presentation. It's classy, it's elegant, it feels amazing in the hand. The label on it, I mean, the label on it, they're great. The whole thing, just the whole package is absolutely amazing. I love it. Fahrenheit is pretty great. You're right. Couple of the Cartier bottles are really good. Mugler bottles, yes, but they're fucking a right nightmare to use. So that's if you've got weak hands, that is. Which Nishane do you have, Rich, says Wes? Well, Wes, I'll tell you. I have Patchouli Koza. That is the only Nishane I have. It's a creamy patchouli thing. And it's quite nice. Wow, there's 60 people. Welcome, 60 people. How are you? I need to get back the chat because it's moving like you wouldn't believe. It's really interesting to see Eugene's new bottle design. What? I like the one he has now. I hope he keeps that cap. I don't know that he was making a new one, but happy days. Divine says layers of presentation is meaningless. Zerjov has layers of presentation. They used to include pieces of an actual asteroid in the leather boxes with the white curtains. You can say you don't like some of them, that's another thing, but nobody can say they were uninspired and boring. I still think they still do that too. Nuit de Feu. You actually on the dark side of leather is pretty damn good and strong. Fragrance Dubois, layers of presentation, Royal Crown, Clive Christian, Bodicea. Bodicea is another fucking outrageously overpriced brand as well. Stay the fuck away from them. The argument stemmed from you saying no one is making Argos tier product. I've given you half a dozen brands. They are right there with it. I love Greek mythology, so there is that aspect of my love of Argos, says Boaz. Favourite bottles, Shiseido's Féminité Dubois reigns supreme. It's hard to argue with that, but as a personal thing, I think my the Serge Lutens bottles. I could do a top 10 bottle presentation design. That is without all of the what they're called, the fucking spring and summer bottles that I haven't looked at. The tower bottles. I even like the tower bottles. Yes, the sprayers used to be absolutely grinding poverty. They were awful, but he's sorted that out. But I do like his bottles. They're very distinctive. They're very original. They're very him. You know a tower bottle. You know a tower. The second you lay eyes on it, you know that it is. You know? Subjectively, just based off me being able to list that many brands clearly in case the original statement is absurdly biased. Oh, Savage Cologne is great. Did not expect to like it as much. Says Paroli, welcome to you. How are you? It looks like only Eugene and I enjoy Heaven Can Wait, says Paroli. Yes. Well, there's more bottles for you. Like a fruit made by God for the hands, says Herb. That is an outrageous statement. I like that statement a lot. Bry, how are you? Hello, Pat Lester. How are you? Hermes Essence and Cartier exclusives have the best bottles. Cartier, just everything Cartier does is mint. I mean, you've got to remember they do glassware and they do jewelry as well, so their design aspect's pretty immense. Boaz August is far cheaper than most of the brands I've listed, but that's the reason I know why my argument has legs. The £300 brand won't compete with a £600 one that I'm listing. It's obvious. Basing it on price point is not a sound argument. While I wait to see what the Argos smell like, I think basing it like opinion of whether something's good in the perfume game shouldn't be like, I think I'm worried to do that. I'm loath to do that because fuck, you can get some terrible perfumes for big money and you can get some brilliant perfumes for little money. Me and Jura were talking about this in relation to iris yesterday. You can get a large amount of iris in a perfume and have it not smell as good or irisy as a perfume with no iris in. I doubt you will dislike it, Mitch. I will wait to see. I'm going into it. I mean, if one impresses us and I can get it and I'm happy, then I'll buy it. And if it doesn't, it won't. But it won't be easy. Let's see, the tower bottles are tight and right. Burst Liz had Heaven Can Wait at number 1, did he not? Yikes. The Salvatore Ferragamo private line has some of the best bottles I've seen. I don't know that I've seen that private line. I don't know, no one is doing what others is doing with presentation and overall quality, says supply and demand. Don't like the Fahrenheit bottle, but can't argue it's iconic. Yes, and is that not the point of a bottle? To ingrain itself in your memory, in your mind, in your thought, in your consciousness, to make you remember it, you know? I think the original 2007s had glass caps. You might be right. Opinion on Féminité Dubois, Serge Lutens. Féminité Dubois by Serge Lutens is not as good as the Shiseido version. It is thinner, it just is. I've got the Shiseido version and I've got the Serge Lutens version. So I think I would rather get. I'm happy with the two bottles of Féminité Dubois from Shiseido that I've got. I'll show you. I'll show you this one that I've opened. Shiseido Féminité Dubois. A lady from Scotland sold off like 4 bottles of it earlier this year. I was outraged. I was like, sell them to me. But she didn't. I don't know how bright. Can you see that? Can you see that bottle? How's that? I've turned the light up a bit. I don't know that you can. Do you know what it is? With having all these bottles shining in the background, I think it's affecting the way the camera picks up the foreground bottle. So I will show you. I'll bring it closer to you so you can see it. Is it making a good... No, it's not at all. Sorry. It's not doing it justice. I am an absolutely shocking camera person relayer of visual information. Much more on the audio side. I like diptyque bottles. I always like the Dior bottles. Yeah, I like Dior bottles. Sharp though. Have you ever noticed that? They're fucking sharp. The edges. Good call on the old Louton's bottle. Minimalism at its best. Yes. Pop Ephemeral likes Heaven Can Wait. Gucci Guilty Absolute bottle works for me, says PK. That is one of the most comfortable in the hands. I actually thought about that. And I thought people might laugh at this, but like the way it feels in the hand, it's extremely tactile. It's extremely ergonomic. Fits the hand beautifully. Welcome, Scent Club. Fendi Uomo. Have a real good bottle. Fantastic marble. I've got Fendi Uomo. Oh, there it is. Fendi Uomo. I'll put you back. Up you go. It is a good bottle. I do like it. A bit of a pig to spray on, though, you know. It's a bit of a pig, but it's a good fragrance. Really weird how your messages come out, Rich, says Boss. You're really weird. Leave my messages alone. Welcome, eh? Would you still say Zahara was much worse because their bottles cost $100, says Boss? Amoni Privé bottles are amazing. The old ones say spaced out. I love Neffs, says Wes. What's that one? Is that a Nishana? Hi, Rich. Vintage Sergio Talon bottles are fantastic. Scent of the day, the Great Furio. Tell us what you like about it, says Herb to Pulp the Family. You don't have to. The statement basically was no one is doing a presentation overall quality like Argos, and I absolutely debunk that statement by listing half a dozen brands that are right there. One of the few Nishana that's worth it, says Paul the Family. Those brands you listed aren't up to par on quality as Argos, says Supply and Demand. Zero chance of that being true. Afric Oliphant is my only Nishana. What's that like? Going for something I think smell. Derby would be in the top 10 bottles. Yes, Derby's right up there. Derby's a fantastic bottle. These brands are up to par on quality with Argos. Welcome, Bry. I got 5 brands at my chances in that argument. Zerjoff is obviously a brand that tries to use fancy bottles to give the impression of being a very high quality brand. Most brands do that. Bottle design is a major thing. That's why we should discount it. Bottle design is one of those things where people are like so bothered about, especially marketing, you know, the marketing side of the perfume industry, which is becoming a greater part of the industry. So I would always base it on smell rather than presentation, but I'm very wary of flash presentations. I always think most of the money's gone into the presentation and not the and that's with any brand. That's with any brand. Friends, it is that time once again where I ask, if you have not liked the stream, please like the stream. I will appreciate it, and I will not hold it against you at all. Ignore the Sergio wasn't even a core part of my argument, says Divine. I think I'll wear Juke Jump today. Wife who loves it. Is that the green one? I used to wear that a lot. I've been through about 3 or 4 bottles of that. I like the Tom Ford 50ml private blend for a new design from a distance. Feels cheap in the hand though, yeah. Roger can't compare to Argos in quality, says Supply and Demand. I doubt you will dislike it. Mitch, to get my verdict on Heaven Can Wait. I find it inferior to Serge Noir for clove and inferior to Bois Farine for flower. Personally, I don't dislike it, although I used to. There's some good ones, but also some big misses. His pricing structure is despicable. I'll put up money that Argos has nothing above blend, whereas Enigma, Oceana, or Sweetie Ode, etc., says Divine. Of course, first of all, I simply like the smell, but what I particularly like is the spiciness of the cloves. Light. Like a tickled butt, that. Oh, like a tickled butt hat. It remains on there, but most of the soft irisy and musky. I got that kind of magnolia vibe from it. I got that kind of creamy flower. When I think of magnolia, it's very weird. I think of the paint. You know how there's like a paint, like that's magnolia, you know, and everybody fucking was putting it on their walls for years. When I think of that, and I always think of like that creamy paint texture when I think of magnolia. I'm not sure I can separate that from the smell, which I know is a weird thing and entirely my own hang-up, but I got that kind of vibe, you know. I got that kind of vibe from it. I got that kind of creamy, thick mid thing going on, and then I got that kind of weird clove. I didn't like it. I've smelled it more since my first impression, and I just don't care for it, you know. Opinion on Feminine du Bois, it's immense, and guarantee Roger's top sense will be at the very least match Argos's top blends, because it is non-objective statement to suggest otherwise. The tier above Roger's top sense is as thin as paper, says Divine. It's like the spiced L'Eau d'Hiver and give it a different cut, says Paul Fennel. Spaced Out says, I love the 120ml Aventus bottles. Yeah, those old Creeds were quite nice bottles, actually. Now you mention it, that's a good call. The old Creeds, yeah. They were nice bottles. The 120ml Bois de Portugal, which Varanus Rodari reviewed today, which was a lovely review, and I forgot to leave a comment. Welcome, my view. It's raining, I'm staying in, so scent of the day is Tempo. The most ergonomic bottle, right? That's a very fitting bottle for the scent. Tom Ford Fakes have a better cap and atomizer now, says Proddy. What about modern Santal Majuscule? Is it still worthy? I would have to remind myself. I would have to go back and smell it and make sure. Sorry if I sound a little superficial, not very convinced. I'm still learning how to express what I like about perfume, says Paul Film. You don't have to apologise about anything. Fendi Womo has a real good bottle too. Fantastic marble. Yeah, I pulled that out before. Stranger, Shiseido and Serge Luton connected anyway. Yes, they are. So Serge Luton was the head creative force at Shiseido for a long time in the 80s and the 70s maybe. He used to do makeup and photography for Dior before that, and then he released Nombre Noir and Feminité du Bois at Shiseido, and then struck out on his own under his own label. And then he never really broke the link with Shiseido. So when he came to sell his business, he sold it to Shiseido. So they've got that kind of connection, you know. What Shiseido have done with the brand since they bought it has been outright horrible, I think. Horrible. The fragrances are horrible. The fucking bottles, the rebranding, the restructuring, the places where they're sold. Everything about it has been horrible. You know, I don't know if they were struggling before. Serge Luton has a very loud and a very proud, I don't want to say cult, but cult. They've got a very cult following. And they completely shat all over it when they did the rebranding. Absolutely fucking destroyed it. It was awful. Hello, Silver Panther. I regret selling Royal Mayfair. Absolute regret. Got it for so cheap too. There's a bottle of Royal Mayfair in Argentina at the minute from a perfume place called La Nicheria. Rourke had the best bottle from last year, maybe. So sad it got so popular and there was only 500 made. Is there none left? Hello, anyone. I did not get a chance to say hi. I was driving, so couldn't reach out. From now on, I will trust reviewers who haven't smelled the line at all. Trash it. In what industry is the opinion of the inexperienced ever valued, says supply and demand? The thing is, most current formulations are still worthy until you smell the vintage, and once you smell it, it can't be undone. Yes. I always think that everybody puts a bit extra stall behind whichever version they smelled first. And recommendations for a good powdery scent. Le Troisième Homme. Le Troisième Homme by, oh fuck me, what are they called? Caron pour un homme. And a silver has a nice bottle, white grey marbled with a silver cap. The Bally Masculine's got a nice paint job as well, actually. Don't you think about it? I understand it's not the taste of someone with a more modern taste, but it looks very outdated and I like the odd. And yep, if I had to rate, I'd give it 2 out of 10. Unicorns look nice too. So just read parent company Shiseido. I even read a description of a fragrance where they laid importance on how heavy the bottle cap was. Of course, I have liked the stream, says Shelby. Saw a Chanel commercial yesterday for the ladies and it looked really bad. Cheap and trying to appeal to the latest gen. Yes, I can understand that. I think most of my friends would say the same. There's beauty in the eye for sure. But Tall Moniz, hello, how are you? Put it this way, what are their bottles I don't like, I appreciate most. The rope looks like it will age well, the bottle. Yeah, Shiseido does a good job as a parent company, especially compared to the options like L'Oreal. Well, I must admit, if I was going to have a choice between those two, I would go with Shiseido. I just think they haven't done a very good job. They just haven't done a very good job with the Sergio Tons because it was so well done. Welcome, Fosco. I don't know what that scent of the day is. Chanel seems to be a brand which has the least changes to the aesthetic, even the fonts. Anyway, I prefer the iris heliotrope in L'Eau d'Hiver. Shiseido's biggest presence in perfume is through Sergio Tons right now. I don't know if they're still making their own Zen, to be honest. Japanese culture isn't massive on fragrance. No, it's not. Unless it's incense or flowers. Looking to buy in Heaven Can Wear, how would you describe it? I just don't think it's very good. Lalique actually does nice bottles, not necessarily ergonomic. Correct. Shiseido made a real cool bell jar for me. I like Mas Milano bottles, like a reverse Fahrenheit heavy cap. And fantastic atomizers. See that new Chanel Chanson Fresh commercial trying to make it fun for the new gen, but looks rather cheap. Oh, gee, well, yes, Lalique stunning bottles for the prime is a real steal. For the price, yes, that's right, Scent Club. Those Lalique bottles look like they can double as a bludgeon. Honestly, some of the Lalique bottles you could probably off somebody with. They're fucking mental. The Ancre Noir bottles are huge. They're fucking so... There's so much. You know? Excuse me. Sorry, that's outrageous. By the way, I don't really like the B bottle this year, says my boo. Those B bottles are quite nice, the old ones. Not much positive to say about them outside that either way. Well, someone like them make inoffensive sense, but that's about it. Apart from Demoli caps can be used for self-defense. Indeed, yes, they can. I'll never forget, years ago, this is how long ago this was, Red Essence was talking about how he worked in a school and how he said that one of these caps could be classified as a weapon in a school. And I remember thinking, only in America would you get a teacher saying this could be a weapon used in a school. And I remember thinking that is bananas. But then I remember having my bottle of Herod that I had and feeling the weight of it. And I thought, you know what it is? You could, if you did throw that down a hallway full of kids, whoever it hit would be in a bad way. You know, you would be in, it doesn't matter who it was. So he was right. He was right, to be fair. But yikes. You know what I mean? But I do like it. Like, I mean, don't get us wrong. There's nothing like a good, solid cap. It feels nice. It feels like ergonomic. I like the Dior Privé caps. You know, the Dior Privé caps are really nice. They've got a good weight without being silly heavy. You know. Cedar tried hard. They had it in Sephora. It didn't sell, says Frank. I regret selling. Oh, sorry, I read that. It's called eventual consistency. The message will eventually arrive, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to be in the same order for all of us. We do. Proud cult member, says James. Yes. I'm a proud cult member as well. Any recommendations for a good powdery scent? Caron. Yes, that's right, PK. I wasn't ready for Royal Mayfair, I guess. It's so unique and pleasant. It turns to... It's got the lemon in it. It's got the lemon, hasn't it? It's got the lemon in it. It smells absolutely terrible on me. Ever try Chanel's Leon EDP, strangest fragrance I ever smelled? It smells a lot like Shalimar, and I really wanted to like Shalimar, and I didn't. And I really wanted to like the Leon, and I didn't. And then I turned on it. It smells mentholated. It just smells rough. I really don't like it. Le Troisième Homme. If you just put in Caron, and then 3, it'll come up. How are your lungs doing, Rich? Much better, thank you. I'm getting, I've had to because of the rate of the chat tonight. The chat's been going mad. Fair play to you. Don't recall you mentioning, have you tried much from Papillon? Funny, I bought a sample set and then I lost it, and then I found it again, and then I lost it again. So at the minute, I've got the sample set. I've tried Tobacco Rose, which I think is really nice, but I would like to try them again, but I don't know where the sample set is. It's out there somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Never mind out there somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Nightmare. But yes, I would like, that's another brand I'd like to. Stop that product, you rascal. Amouage bottles are usually beautiful. They feel quite nice in the hand. What's your favourite season for perfumes? Which is your favourite from said season? That is too hard, but I would say autumn, and I would say I'd say a lot of people that's their favourite time for perfume is autumn. Winter sometimes as well, but then I think the key to spring and summer is finding the right perfumes, you know. I've got a lot less perfumes for spring and summer than I do for autumn and winter, but getting the right ones is very important. My favourite, I don't know, Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, I see. Puffy was the old school Fragcom nickname for it when it was hyped. Aha! I don't know that I remember that. I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is I just don't remember that at all. Speaking about bottles, my favourite is Jetty, Baccarat Crystal, etc. Very noble and ancient, but the prices are outrageous. The prices on that stuff are absolutely bananas. Prada Amber Intense is so underrated. Great fragrance. The original's fabulous. Brings new meaning to pop a cap in your ass. Says Herbs. Thanks, I'll check it out. Prada Amber is nice. I'd like to have a bottle. I want to give credit to Amage's bottle designers. American kids bring batons, pepper spray, knives, and guns. Crazy, says Frank. Paroli is probably my favourite designer of the past 20 years outside of an exclusive, says Paroli. How would you compare Tom Ford Noir to Prada Amber Pour Homme Intense, Fosco, says Enrique. I really like the Les Eaux bottles, especially. Yes! The Les Eaux bottles are really ergonomic. They feel incredible in the hand. They're round, good fit, fantastic. Welcome, Christoph. How are you? And welcome to Micah. Handley bottles look good, no nonsense, says John. Shalimar EDC is the form for me, says Frank. All I can smell from a Leon is labdanum. It's a fat, mentholated labdanum. Evening. Oh, Peter Carter's bottles, you know. You've got to give credit to Peter. He designed that himself. You know, his bottles and his caps. Like, he really went for it and he designed them, and they're fantastic bottles. You know, it cannot be, like, I'm good. Germany beat Switzerland at the Handball European Championship. Do you watch handball? That's interesting. Handy bottles reflect his perfumery style, I think, says my view. I have got me a bloodline. Will that be on my top 10? It was very kindly gifted to me by Lily, not affiliated with the brand. She just gave me it as a present, bless her. Yes, the Listerine bottles were really good as well, Dropout, you're right. Never tried the legendary Shalimar. Heard it is very feminine. I wouldn't say it's very feminine, not by today's standards, but it's more feminine than masculine, probably. Papillon is a great niche brand, big value for money. The best modern jetty is Vero Profumo's Onda, sensational animalic vetiver. Enrique, they're similar, but the Prada is more of a clean, soapy patchouli and the Tom Ford is more rosy. I love a bit of Shalimar EDC or Extra. Cannot stand Le Leon, says Herb. Yeah, I can't stand it. Can't find Bloodline anywhere now. Yeah, he only does limited batches of it every week. Peter was inspired by Tower's iconic bottles. He did very well. Yeah, he did incredibly, to be fair. Absolutely fabulous bottles. The fact that he knocked them up himself, very impressive. I mean, he doesn't blow the glass himself, you know what I mean? But he designed it himself. Brilliant. I have left you feedback. Feed. Oh, dear me. Shalimar is more masculine than any recent Lamal or Armani. Yeah, it depends how you define the masculine thing within perfume. But I would agree, it's oh, I don't know. It's like we've been shook like a snow globe, you know. And everything's up in the air and everything's falling down. Those old vintage female fragrances are more masculine than today's modern masculine perfumes. It's as simple as that, you know. Men smell like fruity, like sweets, you know, like candies now. And it's strange. Bandy is for women, allegedly. It was. Vintage Frem frags are too masculine for modern lads, yeah. Go for Extrait of Wild Extrait Scent Club. I hear the ADP is a bit different. I've got the Extrait, and it's probably my favourite new fragrance. New favourite fragrance, I beg your pardon. I'm very tired of the Strong You're With You line. I was tired of that shit before it came out, my god. Not great perfume. Good seller, popular, but not top perfume at all. Like those massive Christian Dior Privé Canon looking barrel looking bottles seem quite nice on the topic of bottles. They are. I have bottles of said Canon, and fantastic. Fantastic to hold, fantastic to wield. I think the 250s are perfect because it feels like you've got a lot of juice, you've got a lot of bottle, the sprayers are amazing, and you can just do what you want. It's fantastic. You really believe in the distinction of masculine and feminine perfumes? Not hugely. I look at it in more of a historical context than I do, because my collection is heavily based, or was, I mean, it's not as heavily based on vintage perfumes now, but because my perfume collection is more heavily based, that's like the type of thing. So what I usually say is classically masculine. So your oat mosses, your patchoulis, yes, your woody fragrances, that type of thing, and then you've got your resins and your florals are more on the female side. So I would usually qualify, and if I ever forget to, that is what I mean. Classically masculine fragrances is kind of more where I go, but don't get us wrong, Opium is a fantastic fragrance, which I wear, the vintage one, not the newer ones. The newer ones are fucking pants. This is one of the only fragrances I have ever got a compliment on in the wild. Opium Secret de Parfum. This is what you would call historically a female perfume. And it is fucking marvellous. I haven't worn it as much this year. I just haven't gone for it. Sweet resins, you know? Sweet resins. But in today's modern age, I mean, you can really wear whatever you want. And I do. So I don't put too much stall by it. I don't put too much kind of meaning by it, you know. Yeah. Feminite du Bois, one of my favourite fragrances. Allegedly a female's fragrance. Or the femininity of wood. I don't think it was ever discussed. I don't think it was ever outright said that it was a female fragrance. But when you've got Feminite in the early 90s, people are going to be like, well, it must be for women. I'd wear that shit every day. Fabulous perfume. Samsara, traditionally female kind of perfume. Beautiful. I haven't worn that for long either. Cocoa, I've got the original formula of Cocoa. That is a resinous sweet thing. The good thing about the change in taste of perfume is that men can now have access to these perfumes without people being like, oh, you know. And if you look throughout history, there's been loads of famous like men where, like Brad Pitt used to wear number 5. You know what I mean? No, I don't really buy into the whole distinction, but mine comes from like the, oh, you wear Cocoa. Sometimes I haven't worn it for a long time, and I think the reason for that is I have got to decant it, and I haven't decanted it yet because I am extremely lazy. So if that was in a spray bottle, I'd pick that up sometimes, especially with the weather getting colder. It's a very cold weather fragrance. I don't know. It's a very cold weather fragrance for me. Get a little bit heady. It would get a little bit too much if you wore it in like the hot summer, you know. How many bottles have you sold this week, Rich? Nothing this week. I did last week, but not this week. Pinewood also sell real good bottles and fragrances, all up forest in a bottle. Shalimar's iconic, the juice, the bottle, the price of it all, says Tune Drop Out. They finally made enough Millesime Shalimar this year, and now I don't buy it, says Frank. Stronger with shite. Stronger without it. Welcome, Stephen D. It's all subjective, and I prefer blurring the line, but sometimes restrictions can boost creativity, like the old man woman Amouage duo. Absolute unit of a bottle, says he. I think all people have masculine and feminine aspects to them, and perfumes can speak those different parts of ourselves. Everything for everyone. Have you worn Amber Absolute lately? No, I haven't. Like, if I put my mind on the male-female distinction, I appreciate the art of how classically male-female the frag was made. I remember it. You were complimented in an auction by some older lady. That is right, Christoph. An old lady complimented me. She loved it. She was probably jealous. She probably wore it at some point. Is the Secret de Parfum better than the Opium EDT? Ooh. Oh. I think I prefer it, but that's not to say that it's necessarily better. Does that make sense? I miss Amber Absolute, still have 15ml. Fortunately, I've got a full bottle. Don't think the duck has ever truly weighed in on Amber Absolute. It smells like, I'll tell you what, right? Amber Absolute smells like tobacco oud without the tobacco and the oud. I've said that before. I dare say I'll say it again. That's kind of what it smells like. It smells like the moistness and the dankness have been taken out, and it's more sharp and it's more spicy and drier. It's really nice, but if you would add tobacco and oud and a bit of patchouli to Amber Absolute, you would get tobacco oud. Good night, Christoph. Thank you for coming. There's 3 millesime left: rose, jasmine, and bergamot. I don't think the duck is ever truly. I wear Chamard and Nahima, and I do think of them as my girly ones, says Herb. Love them anyway. I recently discovered that Christophe Laudermiel posted Amber Absolute for me a couple of years ago. He did that when Brooklyn Fragrance Lover died. Really curious to blend it soon, see if it's actually a complete formula. Would be cool. Apparently it is. My mom's Sig, Coco, wear Portrait of a Lady more often than my wife. Yes, I've got that as well, and I love it. The only material without a sex is amber wood. The wood's from Chanel. It's foul. It's robot perfume. Yes, I have a lot of classically feminine perfumes, but then I wore a lot of masculine, and I wouldn't have stole twice sartorial from my father. I thought the difference was clear cut. I love Coco. What do you think about Coco Noir? It's nice, but I don't want to be wearing it all the time. I think it was a lot richer than it is now. Good evening. I'll wear Coco Noir more too. Low down but extreme comes off. Feminine leaving to me. I'm not sure it was rocking in public yet. Shelby, I was just reading about that. Has surprisingly few ingredients. I wear Coco Noir more too. What's the most traditional femme scent you could wear? Maybe mine will be Lipstick Rose. Iris Poudre, the vintage one, not the new one. Welcome Manly. I wear 19 and Cristal. Yeah, I've got Cristal. I like that. The way they pour on for Manly scents. Cheers all. Thanks, Shelby. Yeah, I have enough tobacco wood for generations. Yeah, I've got a few bottles of tobacco wood, thank God. Opinion on Quai de Russie EDP. I've never tried it. Heard it was great. I think it's a bit, the EDP is a bit naff. It's not as good as the older versions. Not for me. Cheers, Boris. I'm scared of Cristal. It's ice cold. It is very cold. Well, 19 Cristal are just so beautiful. They have to be universally worn, says Paul Farmer. I want to see Antoine Massendieu do something for Frederick Malle or something like that. I'd like to see Hank Minardo in Mid-Bodegeur, for God's sake. He can't be doing Armani Code flankers for the rest of his life. They'll have him doing them. If they'll pay. That is what he will wear. Friends, I'm going to dehydrate. If you would like to like the stream, I would appreciate it greatly while I am away. I feel like I've asked that a lot tonight. But if that's your thing, knock yourself out. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere if you don't want to. My God, it's warm in here, is it not? Oh, what's this? I have returned as I said I would. How are we? Do you know what? I got a shock with some of the perfumes that I had only bought last year. I was looking at my list and my unboxings. Do you know what? I only got Blend 30. Is it Blend 30? Blend 30 by Dunhill last year. It was early last year. But it was just last year. So that was a bizarre experience. I see when I said don't leave, everybody took notice, or not. Where are we? I enjoy some Cristallo Vert in spring, says Trutler. Interesting, never tried. I've got Cristallo Vert. I've got Cristallo. I bought a bottle thinking Audrey Jane would buy it off us. She did not. So I beg your pardon. I have a bottle. I have a bottle of Cristallo Vert and it's just sat there for like ages. So I might just crack that open this year actually. It's got one of the only lemon notes in it that I can actually wear. There you go, Tripler. Sorry, it is my Explorer. It's the only watch I've worn since I bought it. Been on for a month. Haven't worn the other two. I've only experienced Beau de Jour in the common line. It smelled lovely. They replaced the really high end patchouli in it with an amber wood, and I was foaming. Although the lavender is still there. The funny doesn't speak to how great the DNA is. Of what? I'm a little tired. I'm seeing my spelling is worse than ever, says Paul Buffano. I'm tired as well, actually. 20 minutes left, I think. We'll go after 2 hours. I felt much easier doing this tonight than I did even last night, and I was surprised how well it went last night. But scent of the day, Science Bear. Welcome, Science Bear. Scent of the day is 1 million golden oud. Fleet Street Barber left a comment today on one of my videos asking about oh fuck me, was it the Royale of was it the Royale in the 1 million line? It was one of them, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Someone was talking about." I wish he was here because you could talk about it. Moss seems to have a first look deal with IFF, says Pradeep. I shall be wearing that Impression Cedarwood heart soon when spring comes around. It's nice, but it's not life changing. You didn't leave anyone in charge for keeping people on the stream, says Carl. I should have had Carl on the door. Nobody would mess with him. Perfumers on Base Notes DIY dub forum has a thread on the Laudermiel Amber Absolute Formula also, says Frank. I wonder if Rich like Angel Share. No, it was a little bit too sweet. It had that kind of sickly sweetness that I really don't care for. It's not something I would buy, to be honest. It's not something I would buy again. I'm wearing my Explorer Tripler, thank you for asking. Oh, shucks, I never encountered it in the wild. You'll find it one day. Did you ever speak to Anuj, my Vu? I told him about you, and he said, yes, he will ship to Southeast Asia, no problem. So, I was speaking to him last night. Sent him a couple of videos today, and he never replied, so I'm imagining they must have gone down like a lead balloon. They were outrageous videos, to be fair. I prefer the old Cocoa to Cocoa Noir. Richie G really liked Cocoa Noir, and then we went to smell it. He was up for buying it, and we went to smell it, and we smelled it, and he was like, what the fuck is this? And he's not big on the reformulation thing. He's not like me. And he smelled it, and he was like, what has gone on here? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, that is not the fragrance I remember it being. Now, that is not to say that it had been reformulated, or that it could have been his nose that changed. But I took it that it had been reformulated. It's been out for a while now. Came out 18 years ago. 2006, 2005, 2007 was 16, 17, 18 years ago. It will have had at least one reformulation in that time. Probably more like 2 or 3. Madness. Not all the horrible cocoa mademoiselles. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there, isn't it? Stuart, mate, I will get your parcel out tomorrow. I'm going to pack it up tonight. I'm going to put some Les Indomptables samples in. I'm going to put in the Mask Milano sample set for you, and of course your your long awaited perfume. Kids are hard work, but you still love us anyway. How many clones of Angel share good grief, says Product? Yeah, there's so much out there. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, and the amount of money influencers are paid by clone brands to pump clones is insane. I don't know if anybody's heard of like some of the figures that are floating around. And I don't know if it's just for one video, but it's multiple thousands. It's under £10,000 a video, but it's over 5, apparently, allegedly. Or if they've entered into agreements for a series of videos, you know, like put my perfume, my cologne into your top 10 list 3 times, 5 times, and I'll give you thousands of dollars. And if you think about it, when you compare it to the money they must make, it's not. I mean, if you think about it, Johnny Depp was being paid tens of millions to promote Sauvage, and that was a good investment. You know what I mean? It's 5-10 grand for a few videos on YouTube when you've got upwards of 6 figures subscribers. It's a lot of money. You know? It's a lot of money. I mean, that might be wrong. I don't think it is. I think it's what I've heard. And if you look at the amount of clone content that's been coming out, they must be being induced they must be being compensated for those videos to an extreme amount. That is a lot of money for someone who literally is doing what I'm doing now, although they do it much better in terms of production values. So we'll see. We'll see. See if it comes out. But my understanding is some of the clone brands have paid upwards of 5 grand, all the way up to 7.5 for certain perfume related contents. But there we are. Stuart's in for a treat. Cologne concentrate, absolutely, says Stuart. Oh yeah, look forward to it. Also, sold my angel share. I have boozy fruit, amber, well covered, amber narguilé, single malt, apple brandy, CH Privé, on and on. I sold my CH Man Privé. Got a horrible vibe from it. Didn't smell it for ages. Loved it the first time I smelled it. Did that thing that perfumes do, especially modern ones, where they're top loaded with all the nice stuff, and then it dried down to amber wood for me. And I didn't like it. I can't deal with it. I can't. It's not that I don't want to, but I don't want to, but I can't. I can't hack it. It's the first and only thing I smell. I'm so fucking attuned to it. It's so there. It's so potent. It's so much that I just can't hack it. I just cannot hack it. What is that Coco doing? Behave thyself. Was that OG Egoist more rosy and woody, says Frank? Picked up a pre-1994 Egoist last week. I actually prefer the modern one, more spicy. This one is going to be like a revelation to you. It'll be very different. Can't do clones, never fills the fucking desire like a fake watch, says Frank. Yeah, it's just not the real thing. It's something that young people, for me, it's something that young people are like interested in, you know. Thought Smelly might be out of business, so looked at his feed. His clone video got about 5 times the views of anything else. What the fuck, said Triplet. It's sad. It's sad, but it's true. I mean, say it ain't so, but there's the numbers for you. It's not something I want to be involved in. Like, I do this for a laugh. I say for a laugh. I do this because I enjoy it. Clones would absolutely ruin that for me, you know. If there are people out there who are looking to put their kids through university, there are people out there who are looking to build a life for themselves with the influence, I think good for you. If that's what you want, but I think you should state that as well, personally. I would say, look, I just think, I don't know. At that point, you're an advertiser. At that point, you're a salesman or a saleswoman. At that point, you are shifting product. You are not discussing it in a neutral fashion. You're blurring the lines at best. But that's my opinion, and they can have their opinion and be totally opposite, you know? I hate that some people use altruism for justifying clones, like these brands are doing it for the people to be able to smell the expensive fragrances, although I don't mind them, just hate the insane push. The egregious overbearing nature of like, and then it's like, we're doing you a favour. We are doing you a favour by robbing Peter to pay Paul. Do you know what I mean? We are I used to say a long time ago, clones are theft. Not really wrong. Welcome, DJ. Clones, they are stealing other people's property, essentially passing it off it as their own. Plagiarism would be another word for it. But at the same time, right, and this is a very worthy and good point. At the same time, these fucking designer and niche houses with their price increases have no sympathy for them whatsoever. The scandalous bastards. The price increases from brands like Tom Ford, Chanel, Dior, like all of them across the board, like fuck them. There's a part of us that feels like that it's like, I'm happy that their market share is being decimated because of their avarice and their greed. You know, there's something a little bit satisfying about the rise of the clone, because brands have brought it on themselves, and rightly so. The horrible bastards. They're just ripping people off left, right, and centre. The perfumes aren't worth what we are paying for them. It's a fucking outrage. It's always the bastardized versions of the real thing too. Better to save up the money and get a sample decant than to buy like 10 bottles of clones. I would totally agree. That is the way I would do it. Le Male Essence de Parfum is better than CH Privé, both same category. I think it's a better fragrance. I would have to compare them again to remember. I commend Ramsey for his open mind. A review of Gravitas. Ram has integrity, says Triple. He does have integrity. I know him well enough to say that. Just a handful of clones I'd consider. Top of my head, I own one, La Yucca Wham, and that is fantastic. La Yucca Wham smells more like Tuscan leather than Tuscan leather does now. That's something that brands have to take responsibility for as well. Tom Ford has to take responsibility for the fact that somebody makes their own product better than they do. It's a horrible thing for me to have to say, because I don't like clones, but it's true. That La Yucca Wham smells like more like the vintage Tuscan leather than Tuscan leather you'll find on the stalls these days. It's been watered down to fuck. I don't care what they say. They're bullshitting if they say that they haven't watered it down. I don't care what their reasons for it are either. If they have to compromise the product that much, stop selling it. You know what I mean? Make something else. Do something else. Be creative. Don't just rehash the same old shit over and over again. That's something else that brands have brought out. Everything smells like it's been focus grouped. Fuck it. Awful. About patchouli. Ever tried classic patchouli from von Usedorf? I have never even heard of von Usedorf. Welcome, DJ. What's new? I'm hot. That's what's new. I feel better, though. Influencers are modern-day door-to-door salesmen. Absolutely. The Emperor's New Clothes. There is nothing there. Fluff. Nailed it. Spot on. They are modern-day door-to-door salesmen. They're even more... They'll come into your bedroom. They'll come into your house. Wherever you watch their content, they are there. You are being sold to by these people. Cavalli La Notte is close to CH Privé, but no boozy note. I love the boozy note. Yes, I don't like clones, but I despise the audacity of modern creed more. Exactly. And a theft that doesn't give you the real thing after all, says Paul. Stop buying perfumes from Herbalario when I found out how much they were inspired from other more expensive perfumes. Von Usedorf patch is great. Let me check this out. Von Usedorf. Ooh, fucking autocorrect doesn't like that one bit. Zugverbindung von Usedorf. No, that's not right. Von Userdorf. Patchouli. Classic patchouli in stock. How much are you? Oh, €145. Good Lord. Where else can I buy you from? They will try to charge me import tax. I tell you, they will try to charge me import tax. I do not want to pay import tax. Where are we? Useldorf. Classic patchouli. There's classic myrrh as well. Oh, you know just what to say. Let me see. Von Usedorf. Excuse me. Classic myrrh. Classic Apollinax. Classic vetiver. Classic mimosa can go and jump off a fucking bridge. I don't want that. Horrible. Get away from us. Classic myrrh. I want to try them. Do they do a sample set? Incense cedar. Oh, ironically, there isn't a myrrh note in it, apparently. Who would have thunk it? Von Userdorf patch is great. Balmy, yes. Really good and earthy too. But I just bought Del Ponte. OG Jen Sense reviewed Von Userdorf patch. I'll have a look at that. I take a natural ingredient eau de cologne of Nobile. Is the patch like quite creamy? Excuse me. Oh. Waiting on a few bits. DJ, I found the candle things. I don't know if I told you. The incense one's really nice, but it's very bracing. It feels like it's clearing you out, no doubt. Killing all the evil in the air. Dispelling the miasma. I thought the Barrio, Bellario, Maharis and Dulcis Ear are about as old as Musgrave and Abernogilis, says Frank. Angelos Angeliki. Are you wearing that Angelos Angeliki? DJ, have you ever smelled that oud yet? The really expensive oud by Parfum d'Empire. I think I heard you say you had. It's warm in here, friends, I'm not gonna lie. I need to take my fucking painkillers and I need to take my antibiotics for the evening. I'll be glad when I'm off them. They've made us feel a little bit wobbly. Last dose tomorrow morning though. I have my course starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, so that'll be fun. I feel it's targeted at people who aren't veterans of oud. It's a proper oud perfume, that's interesting. I get what you're saying. Whoa! Paul Femos just spoke Italian and I have no idea what he said. But the profile is nothing new to me, says DJ. Yeah, I have no problem with clones, but tend to only buy them if a clone is discontinued or to sample a ludicrously expensive fragrance. Yes, I understand that. That would be a good market. I know that Dan from Les Odorants has a Dan from Les Odorants has a business doing that, cloning discontinued fragrances. I'm not a clone fan. That's just I just don't like them on many different levels. But if I'm gonna clone something, if you were gonna do that, I think the best way to do that is discontinued stuff. Why discontinue it? Even though I've just said about Tuscan leather, if you can't produce the same product that you used to years ago, why not just stop? Oh. Sahara is a sweetened and simplified Muscovy Jour. The vintage bottles of that, the matte cap versions of that go for bonkers money. It is insane, I tell thee. Hey, your pulp mastic frags tend to be quiet, and I like them for the summer. Not sure how I feel about the old mastic. I liked it the first time I smelled it when I didn't know M on Muscovy Jour. Oh, I have the Perfumes vintage cologne of Gucci Pour Homme Deux. Not a fan of the brand, but it's nice to have a close backup of the frag. It's missing the ethereal sillage, but close enough. I've got a couple of bottles of that. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I might part with one of those. You're not coming to England anytime soon, are you, Frank? Ooh, 37 people watching and 37 likes. I like that kind of thing. Oh, sorry, I wrote in Italian, but I think you understood. I didn't. Tripler might. I have no idea what was said, frankly, because I can barely speak English, never mind Italian. But not to worry. I speak Spanish, so I understood about 69%. 69 was it? Oh. Right. Okay, that's it, friends. I've been on for 2 hours. I'm tired now. And I am hot, which doesn't help the matters at all. I'm feeding 2 toddlers and typing, bottling my types. Pretty impressive, to be honest, Frank. Pretty impressive, mate. But that's it from me for tonight, friends. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow night. I usually do on a Thursday. We'll see how I feel. Doing my course tomorrow, which is going on for a couple of hours, so we'll see. Fortunately, I'm doing it from the comfort of my own pit. We'll see how I feel. So I'll try and do a video tomorrow or Friday. I'm going to get some fresh air, and then I am going to go to sleep. Well, thank you very much, my friends, for keeping me company. I had a great chat tonight. 60 people watching at one point. I nearly got a nosebleed. I don't usually get up to that kind of height. But anywho, thanks everyone, and I will see you all again soon. Good night.